Hi all, apologies I've no camera on today. Um, I'm not using my own setup, so I don't have a camera on where I am. But I'm sure you'll survive without having to look at me. So I just wanted to give you a quick update about the assessments. So as you can see, we've two due on March 24th. So assessment one and assessment two. So if you haven't got your first two assessments done, now is a good time to get started and have them finished. If you want, give me a shout, or Pete or Mairead, and we'll go through anything you want with you. But let's have a look and just and see what exactly we're asking you to do. So you can see that we have the three assessments. We gave these as the initial dates, and the reason why we gave two dates for these two is we know how busy you are with your web, and we didn't want to overload you, so we gave you an extra little while to get those two done. But you possibly could have had that one done by the 10th and had that one done by the 17th. So the first one, getting started with IntelliJ, we'll have a look and see. The writing classes, we'll have a look at that and see. And then I haven't given you assessment 3 yet. So when I give it to you, we'll do another little video, and you'll get that assessment 3. You'll get that this week, and you should be able to, based on what we've done so far, you should be able to write that one as well. So I suppose the whole ethos of these assessments are that they're learning assessments. They're to help you learn and to kind of get you to go out and have a look on the internet, have a look at the API for Java, and have a look at the string API and see what methods are there. And just to get you thinking in a smaller context. And hopefully by the end of these three assessments, you'll be in a good place to start your final assignment, which you'll be getting after Easter. So as you can see, the three of them are worth 5% each. Okay, so let's have a look at assessment one. So in assessment one, you're asked to write a program that produces the following. Okay, so you can see you're going to ask, you'll see the stars and the word songify and stars. You'll see the line, you will be asked to enter some details about your favorite song. You're going to be asked to enter your favorite song, and then you'll enter whatever it is. You'll be asked to enter your artist name, and you'll enter whatever it is. So in your code, you're going to write the code that does all of that. And then it kind of produces a little bit of a report at the end of it. And the report that it produces is going to do things like make the song, put the song into uppercase. It's going to change it so that it tells you if you enter the length in seconds, what that is in minutes and seconds. It'll reverse it, and it'll tell you how many words and vowels are in it. So we necessarily haven't done exactly this in class, but we have done arrays, we have looked at charret, we've looked at strings, so we have looked at all of the things that you've been asked to do. You haven't actually been asked to do exactly this. So we'll have a look at what you're given. So you can see here you're asked to create a new project, create a new class in the project, and then you can copy and paste this code in. And you can see here it gives you the start. So it shows you what your main is going to be. It includes a scanner object called input, and then it creates an object called mySongify. And we do that so that you can use any of these methods that you're going to write in here. So it gives you the starting point, and then you're going to add in the rest of the information. So one of the things here was enter a song name and the string for the song name, so that we're going to store whatever the user has entered in song name. So that's that line there. So you're going to find the artist name, you're going to find the first line of the song, and then you're going to find the length. And you're also going to find out whether it's their favorite song or not. So you're going to ask those questions, very, very similar to how these ones here were asked. Once you've got that, it's going to print out the stars. So what it's doing is it's calling mySongify, and it's passing it 40, which means it's going to print out 40 stars. This one here is printing it out in uppercase. But before that, it's going to check if the favorite song. So what's it going to do? It's going to take whatever you have entered for the Y or the N. And if it's a Y, it's going to say this is your favorite song or whatever you're asked to do. If it's an N, it's going to say your almost favorite song. So you can see here the person entered an N. So it prints out your almost favorite song is Hello. If they had entered Y, it's going to print out your favorite song is Hello. So you're going to write all of that there. Okay, and then this is where it gets a little bit harder. So what I've included here is I've included a description of what you've been asked to do. So you're going to pass it in some sort of a string, and it's going to return the number of vowels in that. So it's going to count the number A's, E's, I's, O, or U. So this is the algorithm. It says iterate through the characters of the input string and increment a counter for each vowel encountered. So again, I've said that we've looked at arrays. I've said that we've looked at the charat, and we've looked at keeping a counter, so keeping a total. So you're going to use a loop, and you're going to loop through whatever the string, the str is, and every time it comes across an A, an E, an I, an O, or U, you're going to increment your counter. And at the end, whatever you have in your counter, that's what you'll return, and not the -1. The same for the number of words. It's telling you to use split. So again, you're going to go and have a look at the string API, and you're going to see, is there a method that allows us to split words? And I think I've given you an example of that in your notes in one of your lectures. So if you go back and have a look at week 6, you should find something that will help you with this one here. Again, the reverse string, very similar to going through and looking for the vowels, except we're starting at the end, and we're going to create a new string by starting at the end of this string and appending each time. Okay, so again, this is your algorithm, and it's telling you what you've got to do. Your convert to minutes, you're going to take in the number, and it's going to return a string, and the string it's going to return is, it's going to return this, whatever it says up here. Where it is, it's going to return its length is whatever minutes and whatever seconds. So that's the string that's going to be returned from your convert to minutes. And then we have these two here, print stars and to boolean, and they're included to show you how we write functions. So you can see this one returns a string, so we return the string that we create. This one returns a boolean, so we return the true or the false. Okay, so they're there to help you. So our grading. So output exactly as expected, you'll get 5. So if your code looks exactly like this, okay, so you'll have different names for songs, I understand, but it has the enter song name, enter artist name, and then this part here is the same. So it's able to print out your favorite song in uppercase. It's able to print how many minutes. It's able to reverse it, and it's able to tell you how many words and vowels are in it. You'll get 5 marks. If you've written the new methods that we've asked you, you'll get an extra mark. If the code is commented correctly, if it's formatted and indented correctly, that's a mark. So for 8 marks, if you do exactly what's asked of you. The extra functionality is, I just want you to go out and have a look and see, can you think of something else you could do? So write 2 more methods that's going to do something with the strings or the yeses or nos or the length that you've been added. So I've given you one idea here is just getting the artist name, taking out the spaces and putting a hashtag in front of it. And then you would return that underneath these stars. So the fact that this all matches is great, and then the extra ones here will go underneath it. Okay, and you'll get 2 marks for those, 1 for each of those, and Again, you'll get some marks if you attempt them. So that's the first assessment. The second one here is simple validation. So again, we give you the starting code and we're asking you from the starting code, it should look like this. So you'll have a driver, a song and utilities, and you're being asked to write the song. So you're being asked to make sure that the song has the correct validation that you've been shown. And again, in your driver, it has some to-do methods for you to work on. Okay, the utilities class is there. The reason why we've included the utilities class, because when we're programming, we will always have some sort of a class that helps us, a little helper class. I just put it in just to show you that you can use it, but again, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. But as I kind of want you to know that these assessments are about learning. So they're about you figuring out other ways to do things, because we have a tendency in class to show you one way and you may think that that is the only way of doing stuff. It's not. So we want you to have a look and to go through it yourself and see what you can come up with, as long as it produces the output that we're expecting. Okay, so again, the driver class has a few to-dos in it, and the validation has to-dos in it as well. So you get the starting from it. So again, because it's mostly around the validation, we have the song class here. If the fields are created as the spec, we get 1. So the generated code, so that means that you can generate your setters, your getters, your toString, your constructor. So once you have all of those generated, after that you're going to go and you're going to add the validation. So you're going to add the constructor validation, you're going to add the setter validation, and you may update the toString nicely. So don't just use what you've been given from a generation point of view. You can write your toString in your own way. So if you do the song class and validate it correctly, you'll have 7 marks. So that means that, and again, in the source code, in the song, it tells you that in the to-do what it's expecting. Okay, but again, these are valid songs, so it tells you what your ID should be. It tells you how long your song name should be, your artist name, etc. So again, if you do all the to-dos properly, all the to-dos properly in the song class, you'll get 7. In here we have our driver, and we're saying it's our user experience. So that's what the user is interacting with. And if you've updated the add song correctly in there, you'll get 2 marks. And then if you follow the standard naming, the indentation, it's all neat, and you've added in comments, you'll get 1 mark. There's no extra marks in here for your own work, but that doesn't mean that you don't have to do, you shouldn't do it, because if any marks, anything that you put in, we can, tell you whether you've done it properly or not. You won't get extra marks, or you won't lose marks if it's wrong. But it's just, as I said, it's good to get you thinking about things. How would I change this? How would I add it in? How would I add in a new field? What does it take to add in a new field? How would I change my constructor? How would I change my toString? So again, the more you question yourself, the better it is for you going forward, because the more you learn. And I keep saying, when you break your code and you fix it, you learn much more than when you have it all working perfectly each time. So get this done for this week, and we're here if you have any questions, and hopefully it's going okay for you. And then assessment 3, I'll get that done this week and you should see it. All right, best of luck.